Hey team, it's Mr. Z, and today we're going to do another Math Minute. Remember, these daily practices is what makes our brains better. All right, diving in. Math Minute 36. About how wide is this paper? So you have to understand that there's always standard sizes. Typically, a piece of paper that you hold in your hand will always be in inches. Feet, that's how you measure a person. Typically, our height in the US is in feet. Centimeters, you want to think of a ruler, leaving us with inches. Number 2, how many lines of symmetry? Symmetry is, for example, because there's two M's, and two M's are the same. They have a line of symmetry between them. So where can I draw a cut that would make the two pieces exactly the same? Now I want to talk about a diagonal cut, because some of you might say that, like this one on the left, comparing it to the right, they might be identical. But you have to remember, with symmetry, it needs to be exactly the same size. Notice how the right side, is a rotation, meaning it's not going to be a line of symmetry. The lines of symmetry in number 2 are going to be vertical and horizontal. 2. Number 3, luckily for us, it all has a common denominator, so I'm going to represent it as 1 plus 3 plus 3, and then this is going to turn to be 7/8. 4, what fraction does the letter B represent? So you have to understand, with fractions, it's going to be easier to look as an area model. I go ahead and draw a rectangle around 0 and 1. The reason being is, think of this as 1 bar, 2 bars, 3 bars, 4 bars, and so on. For one fraction, we're going to zoom in on the area between 0 and 1. It is cut into 2 equal pieces, and the point is between 0 and 1. This implies that the region before it is going to be counted. 1 out of the 2 spots, 1/2 of a whole. Number 5, if you look at this list, you might notice 2, 8, 10. These are all even. Even numbers are multiples of 2. This means they are divisible by 2. That means the quotient does not have a remainder. I have 8 divided by 2. Boom. No remainder. Let's try 13 divided by 2. 13 goes into 12 6 times. Go around the world. So it starts at 6, then it goes to 1, then it goes to 2. Notice how I use this arrow to help my guide. Remember, it's always clockwise. The quotient is 6 and 1/2. It has a remainder. Likewise, number 6, I'm going to scan it. Number 4 is the only even. 7 is odd, 11 is odd, 19 is odd. Number 7, this is a little more subtle. You can go ahead and say even, odd, odd, odd. You can also notice that 15, 25, and 35 all have a factor of 5. They're all multiples of 5. Number 8. The 4 cards below form a pattern. What would the 7th card look like? So, let's go ahead and analyze how each card changes. Well, 1 to 2 is adding 1, adding 1, adding 1. Patterns have rules. So, my 5th card, my 6th card, and my 7th card. The rule is to repeatedly add 1. Now, let's look at the bottom part. How do you make a 5 into a 10? You might say times 2. 10 to a 15, but this isn't times what? So these aren't going to be the same rule, so I know it's not going to be multiplication. I'm going to go ahead and relook. How do I make a 5 into a 10? Oh, add 5, add 5, repeat. 25, 30, 35. Number 9. What number plus 14 is 22? This could be the same as saying x plus 14 over 22. This would turn into x plus 14 equals to 22. Now, before I go ahead and review how to solve an equation, I want you to just understand, think, what number from 14 and what makes 22? Think of it as this: 14 plus something equals 22. That way, when you're counting from 14, you can go ahead and analyze that it is 8 spaces away. Now, you can also do 22 minus 14, which is essentially solving an equation mentally. Nifty, huh? 10. All right, this is checking. Do you know what the word sum and product mean? Sum means the answer to an addition, and then this is the answer to multiplication. Parentheses, times, dot. There's lots of marks. So 5 and 8 add up to be 13. 7 and 9 add up to be 16. The products, I could look at the list of 5. What is the 8th term? Or if I want to look at 8s, what is the 5th term? When I'm doing 7, I'm going to ask myself, what is the 9th term? And when I look at 9, what is the 7th term? All right, that's it.